When I was younger, I used to do a lot of cringe things. One of the things was laughing, like nervous laughter, when like I was just around people to get them to like me. They would say something like, pretend to try and say a shit joke, and I just laugh. I just try and want to fit in, right? I wanted them to like me. I wanted to do anything to get their approval, their external validation from other people, right? But you have to stop doing that shit. Like, learn from my mistake. Don't repeat what I used to do when I was a teen. Like, this used to make me feel like they are better than me. And if you're watching this, you'll probably do this yourself. So you clicked on the video. So well done for doing that, first of all. But second of all, cut it out. Like, literally from now on, don't do that shit anymore. What you'll find is there'll be a shift. And when you like go to school or wherever you're going the next day, you stop doing this. People be asking you like, what's wrong with you? You're right, and stuff like that. But if you keep it up long enough, you will take on a new identity, and they will just adopt it. And this is the best thing you can do for yourself in this current situation, because you need to detach from that needy guy who needs other people's approval and other people's like validation, that external validation. You always want to get your validation internally from your internal thoughts that's running in your own mind. So if you think that was a shit joke, like, don't laugh. You don't have to say, that was a rubbish joke, mate. You can do if depending on the situation, but like, just don't laugh nervously. If something's funny, great, laugh. It's not to say like change your entire personality. It's just to cut out the weak behaviors that you are possibly doing. If you're clicking on this video, you probably are doing that, like I used to do it, and stopping them completely, and instead coming with like more of an attitude of presence, or an aura of presence, to kind of like witness every situation and rightly judge it in the moment. A fantastic book for this is called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Very, very popular book. If you haven't heard of it, go get that. It will literally change your life. This is necessary. This book is necessary because it helps you control your emotions, it controls your mind, and controls your actions, everything like that. Because once you realize like all your personality is your ego, right? But your ego doesn't exist. Your ego is not a real thing. The only thing that actually exists is your like body, right? And you can, like, your body can accept a new identity at a moment's notice. It can also drop parts of your existing personality at a moment's notice. You can also pick up new things. So if you want to identify as a stronger person who doesn't laugh at bullshit jokes, who doesn't need other people to approve of him, you will see a seismic shift in the relationships around you. They'll be like, this guy, he's definitely changed. And all of a sudden, because you have more presence, because you have more like control of your mind, you will naturally find that people want to inquire about what's different about you, and you'll potentially find you will also like change the dynamic in which like your relationships have. So let's just say you were that needy guy in the playground, for example, and or like in your peer group, or like in your peer group you are like in the middle kind of thing. You're not the leader, but like you're not the bottom, but you're just kind of like around the middle. You just want to like laugh and stuff like that, right? Imagine you're like a gorilla or a chimp. Like the big gorilla, that's the leader, and then the other ones just like do everything to pander to him to make him feel like, oh yeah, like I'm on your good side type of thing. You're doing the same thing. You're a chimp, you're a gorilla. Like, stop that shit, bro. It's very, very corny. Instead, you don't want to be like, you don't want to knock top guy off his position. You just want to change yourself and let the audience dictate how they perceive you next. And if it's wrong, change it again. But like, by just becoming present, you will most likely get exactly what you're looking for, which is more respect, more charisma, more confidence in yourself, so that you don't have to jump through these imaginary hoops in front of you, like fake laughing at other people. That's the worst. And it's so like, oh God, it's so cringe. Like when I used to do it, I could probably tell now, looking back, like, yeah, they knew I was fake laughing, because it wasn't funny. Like, these things weren't funny. It's just like, you just laugh because it's just like you want other people to like you. It's a very, very needy position to be in. So read that book I just told you, The Power of Now. It'll definitely change your mind on this thing, and it'll help you gain that confidence. Also, what you may want to read is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Another incredible book. the clue is in the title. It's all about power dynamics within people. So there's 48 laws. It goes into real depth, and you can use these laws against your friends in the playground, or like wherever you are in work, etc. Like even in your family relationships. It's a very powerful book. Like once you absorb the lessons, very powerful. It's a really big book, and now I've read this book about a decade ago, and I've read it I think like once a year ever since. Now I don't need to kind of like remember every little principle, but there's 48 laws, and I pretty much know like, okay, this person's doing this to me, that is that law, that's what they're doing to me right now. So if I need to kind of like change the dynamic, I may refer to that book and see what I can do. Or just by knowing that they're doing that, I can now like step back and say, okay, this is what they're treating me like right now. Let me go around that, or let me sidestep, let them kind of like crumble, and then I can come in back again, type of thing. There's so many different things about it. So 2 books for you: the Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. These 2 books will help you become that strong, confident, charismatic young man. And this is what I really needed when I was in that position, to expand my mind, to learn more, to kind of like be respected more, have more admiration in the eyes of others, rather than like me trying to leech off their cool points and just try and be like that cringe guy who just smiles when he's not necessarily needed to smile. All right, I hope that helped. I'll catch you in the next video.